Do you believe the current sex ed programs in our school is appropriate for today's youth? More and more parents are pushing for a better sex ed program, and I'm asking you to be a part of this epidemic. Young adults are being exposed to sexual culture through media. You cannot turn on the TV anymore without seeing something about sex. Quoted from Kelly G., who was in the Journal of Sexual Education, she says, "With regard to sexual education, there is a fact with which the culture must now reckon. Information and graphic images of every aspect of human sexuality and sexual behavior have become widely and easily available to everyone. With this in mind, we need to change our curriculum and better educate our teens on sexual education. The comprehensive sex ed approach is teaching them to be abstinent while at the same time teaching them about contraceptions and protection and keeping them safe. Young adults have the right to be well informed of their sexuality and sexually transmitted diseases, along with the proper protections and premature pregnancies. More and more young adults are partaking in premarital sex, so it is important for us to provide a course where they can be well informed of all the information regarding sex. There is a present need for today's youth to be well educated. We are the leading country of teen pregnancies. 1 in 4 women under 20 are pregnant. Not only that, our youth in America, ages 15 to 24, account for 50% of all new STD reports. These statistics are outrageous and need to change. The NSES, the National Sexuality Education Standards, has a list of criteria that should be covered in all sexual education courses. The issue is, it is not known if all schools are following these educational standards. While teen pregnancy and birth rates are declining in the past 25 years, the United States is still the most challenged in the Western world. Quoted from the United Nations. Our youth is either 1, not being educated on these topics properly, or 2, the education system is telling the teachers to teach this information and it isn't getting across to our youth. There are some oppositions to the viewpoint that a new sexual education standard should be taught in our schools. The first being the people who support the abstinent-only teaching method. The issue with this viewpoint is that if we only teach our students to be abstinent, then they're not going to be properly informed on contraceptions and sexually transmitted diseases. And this is key information that all young adults should be informed about. Secondly is the issue that it should be left up to the parents on whether or not their children should be educated on sex. And while yes, I agree that parents should have a say-so in their child's education, when it comes to sexual education, I believe a hired official from the county should be directed to teach your child about sex. When it comes to parents teaching their children about sex, there can be awkwardness and all the information can be left, and some information can be left out. So to have somebody have a professional teach your child will most likely result in better education. Lastly, there is the opposing view that sexual education classes influences young adults to have sex. This is obviously just ridiculous. Teaching them about the risk and hazards of sex is, if anything, going to deter them from sex. A solution I am presenting to you today is that we need to implement more programs into our school and have the NSES standards set up in each sexual education course. Not only that, we need to have sexual education county directors travel to each school to gather the information and evidence on whether or not these courses are being properly taught. When we put these actions in our schools, we will see positive results. Not only will the statistics for STDs and teen pregnancies go down, we will have a more educated and safe youth when it comes to sex. I'm asking you guys today to go into your communities and make sure your children are properly educated in sex. Taking these actions for our youth will prove your love for America and make for a healthier world.